What's going on, guys? It's Sean, and if you're just joining me on this new adventure, I am trying to go through all of the episodes of Game of Thrones. Now, full disclosure, I have not seen any of the episodes of Game of Thrones. I'm committing to this project where I'm going to go through each episode one at a time. I'm going to watch them in real time, comment on some things as they're happening, and then give some analysis afterwards. I'm really just feeling my way through all of this. So, I've done an episode for Season 1, Episode 1, which you can find on our YouTube page. We're about to do Season 1, Episode 2. I want to find out if Bran survived and what that's going to mean for the Lannisters, because obviously he saw something pretty bizarre. So if you want to follow along, do me a favor, go down, hit the subscribe button. We're going to make a playlist that'll allow you to keep up with all of our Game of Thrones recaps. Let's watch the new episode and see what happens in this crazy episode of the first season. Again, I think we need a skip intro. Just moves things along a little bit faster. But I'm going to pay attention to King's Landing, which we met in Episode 1. Heading north, I believe, to Winterfell and the Starks. A scorecard for all of this would really help. I understand that. So far, I have a pretty good grasp of where we are and what's happening. I know that's one of the biggest complaints about Game of Thrones, that there's so much happening and so many characters. Okay, north, there's the wall. Okay. Alright, I take back the skip intro. Maybe I need all this to just sort of refresh where everybody is. And here we go.
Before you go, you will call on Lord and Lady Stark and offer your sympathies.
Oh, I can't stand the wailing of women.
One word, and I hit you again.
I'm telling Mother.
Go. Tell her.
The prince will remember that, little lord.
Hope so. If he forgets, be a good dog and remind him.
Nice.
Time for breakfast.
The wintry abode of the White Walkers.
Tell me you're not thinking of taking the black.
And go celibate? The whores would go begging from dawn to Casterly Rock.
No, I just want to stand on top of the wall and piss off the edge of the world.
Children don't need to hear your filth. I pray to the mother every morning and night that she return your child to you.
I am grateful.
Perhaps this time she'll listen.
You are a dirty liar. Dirty, incestuous liar.
First lesson. Sticking with the pointy end.
I know which end to use.
Sticking with the pointy end is foreshadowing. Only because I saw one of the episodes of Season 1 is called, like, the
All
pointy
the best
end.
swords have names, you know.
So she's going to use that sword to kill somebody important. That's my guess.
Sansa can keep her sewing needles. I've got a needle of my own.
There's a good amount of
Can't say
foreshadowing
goodbye to Bran.
in these episodes.
Said it.
Telling Bran not to climb. Use the pointy end. It's good. Lays foreshadowing.
I wish I could be here when you wake up.
Lets people know what to look for. I kind of thought the whole family would go to King's Landing. That, like, he got a promotion. I didn't realize they were going to be left behind.
Daenerys Targaryen has wed some Dothraki horse lord. What of it? Should we send her a wedding gift?
Knife, perhaps a good sharp one, and a bold man to wield it.
She's little more than a child.
And you? What's your story, bastard?
Ask me nicely and maybe I'll tell you, dwarf.
Now would be a good time to attack the Starks.
You're not supposed to be here. It's a mercy. He's dead already.
Oh no.
No!
That's awesome. Loyal dog for the win. Wolf, dog, dog, wolf.
Have you ever seen a dragon?
Dragon gone, Khaleesi.
Everywhere? Even in the east?
Oh, Khaleesi's not her name, it's a title. Okay, I just looked that up. I know her name is Daenerys. I didn't know what Khaleesi was. Now I get Khaleesi's a title. Khal Drogo. Khaleesi. Got it. I'm learning as I go. Ooh, first look at the wall. Yeah! Look at that. Nice. Cool. Detective Stark.
That was my lady's sister you were hitting. Do you know that?
Stop it!
Arya, stay out of this.
I won't hurt him. Much.
Ooh, okay. That's a mistake.
I'll gut you, you little...
Joff told us what happened. You and that boy beat him with clubs while you set your wolf on him.
That's not what happened!
Yes, it is. They all attacked me and she threw my sword in the river.
Liar!
Shut up!
Enough! He tells me one thing, she tells me another. 7 hells, what am I to make of this?
Sansa's gonna side with the Lannisters.
Tell me what happened. Tell it all and tell it true. It's a great crime to lie to a king.
Ooh, this is gonna hurt.
You let that little girl disarm you.
Fair point.
The wolf is of the north. She deserves better than a butcher.
I care so much about a wolf after 2 episodes. But they're loyal. They're fiercely loyal. And poor Sansa. At least Sansa didn't sell her family out. I thought she was about to sell her family out. There's good in her. Come on. Let her go. Let her go, Ned. Oh, Ned. Oh, that's a mistake. I bet it woke Bran up. Okay. Season 1, Episode 2. The Kingsroad. Let's discuss what we learned. I kind of, with that title, thought something major was going to happen on the Kingsroad. We learned in that episode that the Kingsroad is what connects the north to King's Landing, and that they were going to travel down there to tell Ned about the suspicions that the Lannisters are responsible for what happened to Bran. But we didn't get there yet. What they're doing early on is establishing these characters and who has allegiance to who, and also giving us really good insight into the personalities of these key characters, of these really important figures. And one of them that got a lot of screen time in this second episode is Joffrey. And what I find really interesting is that he's just a little bitch. and the show makes no bones about telling us that Joffrey is a little bitch, that he caves instantly. And Joffrey, wants to pretend that he has this sort of power that comes with his birthright, but he clearly does not have any of the spine to back it up. And that is revealed much later when Arya turns the tables on him and wields his own sword against him. And his true colors come shining out, which I think is great. Because there's no sort of gray area. The show isn't trying to deceive us that Joffrey might be more than he actually is. It's letting us know pretty clearly up front that he's a coward and he doesn't belong in the discussion of people who we should be worried about, which worries me from this perspective. And again, I really have no idea where any of this is going, but it looks like Sansa is going to have to remain loyal to Joffrey because she sees him as a way out of the north. Now, with this confrontation at the river, she has seen who Joffrey is, and is going to either have to just accept that and align herself to it, or recognize that maybe he's somebody who can be played. So that's a pretty fascinating wrinkle. Bran lives, which is great. We didn't know what was going to happen to him at the end of episode 1, but he's definitely going to be a problem for the Lannisters. We saw in the course of this episode that the Lannisters sent multiple people to try to kill him. The other character who I'm so far most fascinated by as these first 2 episodes have played out is Jon Snow. I just like the fact that they are establishing him as an outsider. I keep referring to him as the bastard. We get him joining the Night Watch. 2 other really interesting components to what's happening at the Wall. And we get our first look at the Wall, which I think is pretty compelling because I assume it's going to be a major set for a number of different reasons. I heard the name The Hound today. I don't know much about that character. I believe he's the guy with the deformed face. And then we get to Daenerys. And Daenerys trying to establish some power in the relationship between herself and Khal Drogo. And I think that goes a long way towards establishing Daenerys as somebody who is going to be a wielder of power. She's not a pawn to be manipulated. And I think that that's an important character trait to establish in her. And the other interesting tease in the Kingsroad is that almost every time we see Daenerys, the camera makes sure that we see the dragon eggs. And it's to the point now where I've seen them enough that every time they show them, I half expect the shell to crack. And I think like a baby dragon's going to come out. I've seen images of Daenerys with a dragon. I believe her nickname is Queen of the Dragons, or she has some sort of nickname that associates her with dragons. And so there's a lot of foreshadowing in this. It's pretty brutal in the fact that there's no real loyalty to life. The Lannisters are content to kill a child because he simply saw the fact that they are sleeping together. It's almost like just do everything you can to protect the little power that you have right now. And in fact, even though, the Ned and his brother, I believe it's his brother, are pretty loyal to each other and have been pretty friendly in the first 2 episodes, he still has to say, like, look, get rid of the wolf. The wolf bit Joffrey, and so a wolf has to suffer, right? And I realized I was surprised at how bonded to the wolves I am at this point. We just met them in episode 1 and they're grown, but they've shown such immense loyalty to the Starks that I did not want to see a wolf get killed off. So that was unfortunate. So hit subscribe down below. It'll hook you up with CinemaBlend's YouTube channel. It'll hook you up with our playlist. I'm going to build all of these episode recaps. I'm going to go all the way through season 1. We'll figure out if everybody's sort of playing along and enjoying it. If so, we'll get right into season 2, and we'll burn through as many episodes as we can leading into season 8, and figure out what's going on with the Lannisters and the Starks and everybody in this entire bizarro world. But I'm liking it so far, and I hope you guys are too. So be sure to hit subscribe, and we'll have new episodes up very shortly here on CinemaBlend's YouTube page.